You lock your doors, you check your windows, you tell yourself you're safe. But what if someone has already found a way inside and is just waiting for you to fall asleep? Because in Los Angeles, this wasn't just a fear, it was real. And his name was Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, a man who didn't follow patterns, didn't choose victims for a reason, and never gave a warning, which made him more terrifying than anything people had ever imagined, because anyone could be next. Any house could be his next target. And what made it worse was how easily he entered homes. No broken locks, no forced doors, just silence. As if he already knew where to go, as if he had been watching from the shadows long before anyone noticed. And one night, a couple sleeping peacefully suddenly felt the air in their room turn cold, heavy, unnatural, like something invisible had stepped inside. And when the man slowly opened his eyes, he saw a figure standing beside the bed, completely still, almost blending into the darkness, except for the eyes, faintly glowing, locked onto him, unblinking. And before he could even move, a whisper slipped through the silence. "Don't scream!" And in that moment, fear stopped being just a thought. It became something alive, something breathing in the same room. And as the attacks continued across the city, Los Angeles changed. People stopped trusting the night, lights stayed on until morning, every sound felt like a warning, every shadow looked wrong, and still, it wasn't enough because Ramirez didn't need an invitation. He didn't follow rules, and the only thing he left behind was a single shoe print, appearing again and again like a signature, like a message that he could return any time. And as weeks passed, the fear only grew stronger, spreading from one home to another, turning an entire city into a place where sleep felt dangerous. And then finally, in August 1985, everything shifted when his face was released to the public. And suddenly, the fear had a face. And on an ordinary day, on an ordinary street, someone recognized him. And within seconds, everything changed. Voices turned into shouts, strangers became a crowd, and the same people who had been living in fear for months began chasing him, not running away this time, but running toward him, surrounding him, refusing to let him disappear back into the darkness, until the nightmare that had haunted Los Angeles was finally caught by the very people it had terrorized. But even then, something didn't feel right, because as he was held down, waiting for the police, he didn't panic, he didn't beg, he just stared, calm, empty, as if the fear he created was never really going to end. And maybe that's the most disturbing truth of all, because even after his arrest, even after the city tried to move on, that feeling never completely disappeared. That quiet thought that maybe evil doesn't need a reason, it doesn't need a pattern, it just waits patiently in the dark corners of places you trust the most. And tonight, when you turn off your lights and your room falls silent, remember this: if you feel like someone is watching you, don't look. Because if you do, you might realize you were never alone.